Next up on the show is Federica Soriano, the CEO of the Children's Rehabilitation Institute, TeletonUSA, here in San Antonio. Federica, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So you guys are the only one of these in the United States. So can you explain what makes you guys unique in that you're the only one here in the U.S. that's doing this work?
Yes. Well, we're a children's rehabilitation center. No, and it's an outpatient center. Usually what happens, why we are so unique, no, because usually you can find like everything under the same roof if you're not children's hospital. No, you're going to have the physicians, you're going to have the therapists, and you're going to have auxiliary services. But what happens? You can't be an inpatient forever. No, you're going to be there for a week, a month maybe. But then you're out, you're sent home, and nobody tells you what to do. No, so you have to go like one place for therapy, then probably no one tells you that counseling has to be, it doesn't have to be part of the equation, but it's really nice to have, no? And nutrition and social work and so many other services that we have in the Children's Rehabilitation Center, no? Because our model of care, it's a 4-pillar model of care. We have the physical, psychological, social, and spiritual pillar. No, so it's kind of like a table. You have 4 legs, and if one it's not working, then the table it's not going to be stable. No, so having everything under the same roof gives you better outcomes. No, and not only that, but then you also. The one who's managing the case, usually what happens to families with disability, and we always say they're families with disability because when disability steps in, it affects the whole family, not just the kid, no?
Yeah, for sure.
And they're kids, so they really need a family, the support of the family, of their parents, siblings, to really blossom, no? So there are families with disability. And when a family faces disability, they have to manage the case, no? They are the ones who have to say, okay, this is what I have, this is what the physician told me, this is what this other specialist told me, what the therapists are telling me, and try to manage the case without any experience. So what happens in the Children's Rehabilitation Institute that we call CRIT, for short, when you come into CRIT, you're assigned to a PM&R physician, which is a physical medicine and rehabilitation physician.
Well, let's we'll just want to get some stats in, but then we also want to kind of dig through what that step is like because it's very interesting.
Yeah, so it sounds like these parents are going out of the hospital and becoming project managers for their kids' care. So what exactly does CRIT do?
Well, we manage the case, with a PM&R physician, which is a physical medicine and rehabilitation physician. That physician is going to be at the center. He's the one who's going to manage the case, with all the knowledge, and then he's going to trigger, or she's going to trigger the different services within CRIT, And we have physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech and language therapy. We have recreational therapy, counseling, nutrition, social work, genetics, like every service you really need, to understand the disability world and support your kid,
So you've created kind of a single point of contact for the parents to go to that can then help them access all the care their child could need, because I'm sure it's ongoing.
And you're going to access the care in the same place, So you're not going to have to be traveling, throughout the city. And not only that, but when you have the team under the same roof and working together, then you're going to have better results.
Better communication.
Better communication.
And it feels too, I've been there a couple of times, and the kids, it's almost like it's their home away from home kind of a thing. They seem to feel very connected to that place because like you're saying, everything's done in one spot. That's where they go on a regular basis. How often are kids going to the facility? How often do they come? Is it every day?
Every kid has their own plan of care, because no disability is the same as other disability, So even though they could all be cerebral palsy, it's different from one kid to the other. So we have kids that go 3 times a week for 5 services every time they go, or kids that are there one time every 15 days. others that go for an intensive therapy week every 2 or 3 months. No, so they're all different. No, their plan is tailored for their needs.
And the parents, are the parents involved in this process as well?
They have to. No, that's another big difference with other therapy centers. Usually when you go to other therapy centers, the therapist comes to the waiting room, they take your kid, they go back, they have therapy, they come out, and they tell you what happened. Here is the other way around. Parents have to be part of the therapy session. No, we want our parents to learn everything about the therapy, why they're getting what exercises, how to do them, because disability, in much of the cases, it's going to be there for life. No, so parents have to learn everything about the exercises, when to do the exercises, how to do the exercises. You know?
And having this one central place for everybody to come to get everything sounds huge. So once a child is diagnosed, is it something like every doctor in the city is sending them your way? How do parents get connected with you?
Yeah, by referral. Well, but we have most of the kids we have right now have been self-referred. No, it's word of mouth. No, and they just call in CRIT and they self-refer themselves. But we also have a lot of physician referrals.
And you have a waiting list, correct?
Yes, we service 350 families every year, and we have a waiting list of more than 1,600.
Wow.
Wow. So is that, I mean, different cases are going to be different wait times. You take different categories of patients, and explain how that works a little bit.
Yeah, we have, it's depending on the disability you have, you're put in a different waiting list. No, and for example, newborns, they just skip the waiting list because really those first 3 years are gold. No, in the development of a child. So babies skip the waiting line. No, then cerebral palsy is the clinic that has the longest waiting time. No, so it all depends on what is the disability and your age.
Okay.
So it sounds like there's a huge amount of demand here. Do you guys have a plan to expand in the future?
Yes, we really want to expand, but it all comes to donations, because many of the services we give to the families are not covered by insurance. For example, counseling, it's not covered by insurance. But how can you talk about rehabilitation without counseling or without nutrition or without recreational therapy? That's all the social pillar that I was talking about. Because one is, okay, you can be having therapy, but if you want to be into the ultimate goal of rehabilitation is becoming part of society. It's inclusion. How can you be included if you never learned how to play, if you never learned how to interact with your peers? So that's recreational therapy.
Yeah. And where do you guys generally get most of your donations from?
Generally, we get them through a Teleton event that we do every December. It's a nationwide Teleton event. We air nationwide through Univision, and it's every December. It's a 17-hour TV show.
Oh, wow. And do you get volunteers to take up slots on that 17 hours?
Yes. Yeah. And we have volunteers for many of our events. Yeah. And also, we even have volunteers that go on a regular basis because we try to all the medical part is done by professionals, but translations are done by volunteers. When we have buddy events, that's going out with the kids and pairing regular kids with disability. Then for all this social integration, we take in volunteers. There's many programs where we get the help from volunteers. Even for looking for dream makers, those are monthly givers. But the program is called Dream Makers.
And you guys do a tour of your facility every month, right?
Yeah, we have a tour because we want people to know what we're doing, no, and to see firsthand how we're doing it, and the special care that kids are receiving. Because we have many kids that in other places they have been told that they're never going to walk, or they're never going to speak, or they're never going to do this, and they come to CRIT and they start doing those things that they were told that they were never going to do, no. So we want people to see that and to experience that. So we have an open tour that's every the last Tuesday of the month, no, and you can get in line. I mean, you can go into our website, no, and put yourself on the tour, or just drop the last Tuesday of the month at 10 o'clock in the morning.
Awesome. And if folks want to get in touch with you guys, how do they do that?
We have the contact us in the webpage, which is CRITUSA.org. That's C for children's, RITUSA.org. No, and that's going to be also for our social media. It's CRIT USA. Our webpage, it's CRIT USA.
Awesome. Thanks for talking about that. So have you been on the tour yet, Heather?
I have not, but I'm going to put it on my calendar for next
you gotta
month.
go.
Yes, you should come next month.
You should. I am too. I got involved with CRIT last year, and I'm actually on the CRIT Advisory Council, and I'm also a brand new Dream Maker as of a couple of weeks ago from the annual CRIT Gala that happened a couple of weeks ago.
So what are you going to be doing as a Dream Maker? Go.
I just do my little part, donate to the great organization that not many people know about. So I just, like I said, I donate my small monetary amount, which is not a big deal, but I'm also a big advocate for CRIT. I think CRIT is a great organization, and more people need to know about it. Like I said, I do a few things in the community, and this is one of the things that's right there in the center of my heart.
Yeah, and I mean, Gil said it's not a very big amount. Everything is big, no, because when we all get together, probably just, because the Dream Maker starts at 83 cents a day. So that's $25 a month. You could say it's almost nothing, no. But when you have 1,000 people, 2,000 people participating, it really makes the difference, no. So you can never say this is nothing. No, it means a lot, no.
No, I think that's huge. And especially, those of us who are entrepreneurs and own a business, part of what we're doing is a bigger why. And I think, even just donating time, but being able to donate those funds when technically they're tax free, folks. If you donate to a charity before you give the government your taxes, you're going to give it to something. Give it to a worthwhile organization.
Either give it to them or the IRS, one of the two.
I know. Do you want to give it to CRIT, or do you want to give it to the IRS?
Yeah, you have the opportunity to pick.
So choose right.
And getting involved in the community is always a really good thing to do. And people can feel a bit strapped, especially entrepreneurs, if they're like, I don't have a whole lot of discretionary income, so they're holding it tight to that. But there's other ways to get involved too, which could be just volunteering. One of the things that I do is I talk to a lot of people about CRIT Hospital and refer them that way. Howie's kind of my connection. Howie and Estelle over there is a connection. And now, of course, Gil, because he's there every month to go on the tour and walks people around like that. But just being a mouthpiece for, the CRIT Hospital is a good way to serve. Yeah. So highly recommend that everybody go down and take a tour. It's
helping us networking, Yeah. Because probably you didn't know about CRIT until now.
No. And that's the thing. I feel like if you can be going out and networking and yes, building your business, but also using that activity that you're doing to build your business to feed into something bigger than you, and that's going to help the community and society as a whole. I mean, it's only going to help you in the long run in your business as well, because people aren't going to see you as that used car salesman, commission breath, I only care about making a buck. They're going to see that you really do want to pour in at a high level. So if you aren't able to donate through funds, I mean, just getting the word out and spreading the message is huge.
Yeah, and we have to live here, right? I mean, we do live here in San Antonio.
Yeah. We do. No, I agree. I mean, I think we're all in business to turn a profit of some sort. But in the same breath, I mean, I think we're also here to give back to our community. So I'm proud of the organization. I'm very thankful for being included with helping CRIT. Like you mentioned, Howie Nestow is a great guy. We do a lot in the community. Howie does tons in the community. and I do my little part to give back.
All right. Well, thanks, everybody. We appreciate it. As we wrap up the show, quick reminder, check out our latest podcast or catch video versions of the show anytime by visiting our website at satalkradio.com. It's going to be it for us this week. You guys have a great one. We'll see you on the next one.
Take care. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much.